Yo, what is up guys, and welcome to another episode of Becoming a Wild Rift Expert. And in today's video we're gonna be looking at a match from the grand finals of the Wild Circuit in Brazil. And it's between Vivo, who I'm sure you guys are familiar with, right? Like they were at the Wild Rift Icons, and Team SoloMid, who were, I believe, at the Horizon Cup 2 years ago. So it's like, you know, both these teams have been the best teams in Brazil, and now they can do it again, right? Like, is it Vivo or is it Team SoloMid that's gonna be the best? So I personally always love watching Brazilian games, and my reasoning is because of the support players. Like for some reason in Brazil, the support players are just crazy. Like they're crazy. Like if you look at Mena, for example, as well, during the Icons, he did some amazing things as well. Like, right? Like I really want to put my eyes on those as well, because we see Brazil play a lot of unconventional supports, like, you know, the Galio, the Gragas. They still play those types of supports. If you look at any other region, you know, people play Karma, people play Senna, people play Braum, and the normal supports. But Brazil doesn't play normal supports. Brazil always likes to go crazy at the support. So let's take a look at both these teams. Interesting from Team SoloMid, Gragas and Nasus lane. Gragas, Nasus, so their idea is Gragas with the Font of Life. So Gragas pokes with his first ability, and then Nasus, you know, uses his third ability to then heal up from the Font of Life. They can pretty much always heal, and they should never die in lane. Like Nasus, Gragas should never, ever die in lane. That's the whole idea behind it, and in the late game, they're gonna be tanky. If we actually take a look at Team SoloMid, their whole comp is quite tanky. They have a lot of bruisers. Actually, they're filled with bruisers. They have Camille, they have Shyvana, they have Jax, they have Nasus as a tank, and then they have Gragas. However, there is one major weakness of the composition of Team SoloMid, which is they're tanky, right? Like that is a weakness. While being tanky is very, very powerful, if every single one of your members is tanky, it's a major weakness. Why, you may ask? The reason is, number one, you can use the rune that destroys tanks. It gives you 10% bonus damage very, very easily, very, very early on in the game. Because as you can see, Team SoloMid is already buying so much health. Like everyone is buying so much health. Number two, true damage, and that is what Vivo has. Olaf has that true damage. Number three, items like the Black Cleaver and Blade of the Rune King are gonna have like infinitely more valuable. So perhaps I would say it's quite problematic for Team SoloMid. Although I like the idea, you know, super tanky comp, it does feel like Vivo does have the answers to it with their composition. Let's see. Both teams are playing pretty safely. Actually, now that I'm saying it, Vivo is looking for something. Mena is going to the mid lane. Ooh, this is what I mean. Both supports are in the mid lane. Leo's in with a beautiful ultimate on Mena as well. Like, this is what happens in Brazil, as I told you guys. When you watch a game in Brazil, you can expect to see crazy stuff happening from the support players. And I love that. I love that so much. Like, it's honestly one of my favorite things in Wild Rift in general. Also, we have a Yone. Karlok is playing Yone. I have not seen a lot of Yone competitive because Yone gets banned very, very often, but he got it. He's playing it. And it actually seems like Team SoloMid gave it away because Yone may or may not struggle against these tanks, but you can see, you know, he's not going for the crit route. Of course, he's going for the Blade of the Rune King, guys. Of course, he's going for the Blade of the Rune King to shred those tanks. It is a Shyvana on Team SoloMid side as well, so maybe they're gonna go for the dragon. Like you can expect the team with a Shyvana to go for the dragon, because even though you don't necessarily need dragons as a Shyvana, the 35 stacks the dragons give are still very very valuable when you're playing it. So here you can see, like, Leozin literally moved to the mid lane. He's leaving the Nasus alone. He's moved to the mid lane, but he gets caught. That's a free kill for Vivo. Leather just destroyed him as the Olaf. And that's the beauty of Olaf, right? You cannot stop Olaf. And yeah. Both side laners are just chilling as well. Like, it feels like both these teams are like robots right now. Everyone is just playing into each other's hand. But I do have to say, it feels like Team SoloMid is scared of Vivo. You can look at a game and you can kind of tell which team is scared of the other team. Because every time it's Vivo trying to be proactive. Like, Team SoloMid is being a little proactive. If you look at Leozin, for example, he's definitely being proactive. But everyone else is just holding back, right? Holding off, right? They're just waiting behind their turrets, and it's not because they have a stronger late game composition or they're weaker early game. It's not like they're weaker early game. It's even between these teams. But Team SoloMid it feels like they're afraid of Vivo. Oh, and while I'm talking, Mike though, oh, if Karlok hit that one, he would have destroyed Mike under the turret. Wow. Oh, that was so close. This is definitely going to be a fight, by the way, because that is on TM SoloMid, which is the Shyvana, has his ultimate ready. Obviously, he's not just going to give away a Rift Herald. Rift Herald on 2700 HP? Both junglers are close. Oh, yeah. And he actually got it. That is got it. That's amazing for him. Shyvana's still, ultimate still out there, and wow. Galio's ultimate was even better. Like, honestly, Galio's ultimate right there really allowed Vivo Key to disengage very easily. And what's going to happen right now, I can guarantee you what's going to happen. Team SoloMid is going to put the Herald in top lane, and Vivo Key is going to take the jungle. Interesting, sorry, not the jungle, the dragon. Interestingly, Vivo Key is actually pushing the mid lane. So what Vivo Key did here, they got the first 2 or 3 plates. The reason that they did it is because the first 2 or 3 turret plates are going to be very easy to take, because the turret is squishier when it has a lot of plates. When you take out a lot of those plates, it's going to become tankier. So they took out those plates, they secured themselves like 300 gold from the mid lane because of those plates, and they got the dragon. Sure, they lost the top lane turret, which does kind of suck for Vivo Key, but it's okay. Like, it's okay. Now they're getting punished for it though. They gave away a plate to Team SoloMid as well, and that's the punishment for them taking the plates as well, because they did waste time to take those plates. But again, it's fine for them. You can see they don't mind. Wait a minute, is Carlo gonna go for the Divine Sunderer? I would honestly love to see him go for the Divine Sunderer, because it makes sense. It makes sense. I mean, look at Team SoloMid, full tank. You do want a Divine Sunderer. Now, I don't quite understand the Trinity Force on Olaf. Like, I've been trying to wrap my mind around the Trinity Force Olaf, but honestly, I don't get it. Like, I really don't get it. Black Cleaver, in my opinion, Black Cleaver would have been better. Divine Sunderer would have been better. It's true that Trinity Force really synergizes well with Olaf, but against this particular comp, in this particular scenario, I personally don't get it. I don't really get why he would go for a Trinity Force. It's stronger early game, I'll give him that. Like, Trinity Force is actually a stronger early game item because it does flat damage. But Divine Sunderer is gonna skill so hard against this comp. So we're gonna have to see whether or not later on that Olaf is gonna be like extremely proactive with that Trinity Force. Because, you know, as I said, stronger early game. So I'm gonna assume he's gonna fight harder in the early game just because he has that Trinity Force. That's the Imperial Mandate on Gragas. Gragas can very easily proc the Imperial Mandate because his first ability slows the enemies. Pretty much every single ability of his, except for his second ability, can proc the Imperial or apply the Imperial Mandate. Is he going for a Fimbulwinter as well? Yeah, it seems like he's going for a Fimbulwinter. So he's gonna go for a poke and tanky Gragas that has a lot of ability haste. That's what it seems like. And perhaps he may go for a Cosmic Drive as well to add even more ability haste to it. Speed. It's just so interesting to see what these players are building. Is Karma gonna go for the Leandris as well? You can clearly see Keed knows what they're doing, right? You can clearly see they are going for those anti-tank items. I honestly just don't see a way how Team SoloMid can deal with this. Like, I really don't see a way how they can deal with it. Because the whole point of their composition is sustaining through the fight, right? They have so much sustained damage. But how are you going to sustain against all these anti-tank things? Because they're going to shred through you, even though you're a tank. Let's see. Oh, the game got paused. Alright, and we're back in the game. There were some issues, but they got resolved. Let's see. Yeah, nothing much is happening right now. Both teams are trying to apply pressure. Vivo Key is applying pressure on the bot lane turret. Both teams don't want to lose that mid lane turret. You can see, you know, how important that mid lane turret is as well. And that is what's gonna make the next Herald insanely important too. I'm gonna assume both teams are gonna rotate to this Herald, because whoever gets this Herald gets mid lane turret, right? The only reason Team SoloMid put Herald in the top lane earlier is because it made so much sense, right? It was a free turret, they could just push it, get a lot of gold. So now it's about the mid lane turret. Whoever gets the Herald takes a mid lane turret for free. Let's see. So Vivo Keat is gonna... Actually, no team is gonna have a 5-man rotation to the Rift Herald. Both teams are gonna be putting attention to the bot lane turret as well as the Rift Herald. As you can see right here, Karlok is pushing away the Camille. But okay, so Vivo Keat is just half-half. They are pushing out that bot lane wave, but then Camille understood this as well. So Sony is not taking the bait, he's coming as well. See, as I said, 5 people next to the Herald. Like, I was just gonna say, like, why are they standing at bot lane? Because sure, you can get a bot lane turret, but if you lose mid lane turret, it's not worth it. And I love this from Team SoloMid. I love this from Team SoloMid. They give away a Rift Herald. They don't fight against this composition who has a very strong Olaf, and they just give away and they just take the mid lane turret themselves. Meanwhile, Vivo Keat is just going right back in with that Olaf ultimate. But still, this is honestly the best thing that Team SoloMid could have done. Take the mid lane turret, rotate to bot lane, and you know, you give away a mid lane turret, sure. it's worth. It's a compromise that they took. It's worth it. Like, this is amazingly played by Team SoloMid, and I love to see plays like this happen, honestly, because they are behind. They were behind in this game. You know, they're 3-0 down. They are up against this very, very strong Olaf, but they actually compromised by taking the turret and pushing the bot lane, and they're not even down on gold. They're not even down on gold. And I was right about Caesar. He did go for the Leandri's second item. Normally, you would never really go for a Leandri's second item like that, but of course, against this composition, it makes sense. I mean, guys, look at the Jax build as well. A frozen heart. The item makes a lot of sense. But to go it on Jax? That's the first time I've ever seen that. I mean, you could have gone frozen heart on Camille. You could have gone frozen heart on Nasus. But it seems like they're just going full-on AP Nasus. Wow. Like, this is why I love watching Brazilian Wild Rift. Because they'll do the craziest things that you've never seen before. And that's another dragon to Vivo Keith, by the way. TSM just a tad bit too late right there. And this teamfight is not even looking good for them. There's a beautiful Galio ultimate and a beautiful follow-up as well. It feels like Team SoloMid has no chance during this fight. But while I'm talking, Sony is in the backline, doing what a Camille does best, destroying that backline. But the Stasis Enchant comes in clutch as well. Like, Vivo Keith was prepared for everything, to be honest. Like, the Stasis Enchant on Karluk as well. He was ready for the Camille to dive in. Really, really nicely played. Here you can see the power of the mandate, by the way. Here you can see the power of the mandate and the Nasus poke. Like, the poking Team SoloMid has with this beefy composition is what makes it strong. Like, they're not just beefy. Sure they lack burst damage, but they have poke damage. They have poke damage and sustain damage, so they can poke down the enemy, and then they can all in them and destroy them. That's the idea. That's the idea of the composition, and they're executing it pretty nicely, I would say. There's a lot of anti-healing on the side of Vivo Keith, and it makes a lot of sense because if you look at the composition of Team SoloMid, there's a lot of healing, a lot. I mean, Blade of the Rune King Camille, Blade of the Rune King Shyvana, and when Shyvana reaches 400 stacks, her ultimate is gonna heal her as well, a 15% Omnivamp. Jax has Divine Sunderer, Nasus heals up because of the Font of Life, and then Gragas' passive heals him up as well. So that's an insane amount of healing. So of course you need anti-heal against it, and Vivo Keith knows that, and they've prepared for that as well. Odozus is playing Renekton, he's gonna get ganked here. He's gonna get ganked. He is playing Renekton, however. Meanwhile, Mike is also gonna get ganked on the opposite side. Are they both gonna die? So Renekton died, and is Mike gonna die as well? Yeah, he's gonna die as well. He's gonna die and he's gonna lose his turret. So both teams are, again, like, both teams are kind of compromising with each other. They're making a deal. They're shaking hands. Like, you guys get this and we'll get that. But Team SoloMid is not just giving this and taking that. They're giving this and taking that and that and that and that. Look at them. They're pushing the mid lane. They're pushing the bot lane. They got 2 turrets. They're taking way more during these activities. Although Vivo Keith does have 2 dragons, so they're going to scale into the late game. Team SoloMid is just going ham. They're not letting anything get away from Vivo Keith. They're giving away a turret, but they'll take 2 of it in return. That's the Rylai Scepter finished for Nasus as well. Oh my god, like, I would not want to play against this composition. Like, I would not want to deal with it, because your attack speed is going to be slowed by the Frozen Heart. Imperial Mandate is constantly going to be applied by the Gragas. And then also the Rylai Scepter is just permanently slowing you because of the Nasus. Oh my god. This is just a horror to play against this comp of Team SoloMid. By the way, guys, make sure you give this video a like and suggest a game in the description or a region that you want me to analyze. Like, I really look through all of these comments. So if you have like some games that I've missed out on, maybe in NA, maybe in Europe that I've missed out on, let me know about them. Or like a team that has a very crazy strategy, let me know all of that in the comments in this video. Shyvana is actually very, very strong right now. She's also on level 30. She's been farming very, very well. As you can see at the gold count, Shyvana is actually the most fed in the game. She has 12,000 gold. So, and the Shyvana being fed is very, very good for Team SoloMid, because she can shred through those tanks as well with that true damage that she gets from her third ability. Mayna is falling low, but again, oh, the Stasis Enchant's coming in clutch, and Leozen is gonna die. Yeah, he's dead. He's gonna die. Yeah, there you go. Leozen just got taken care of. Odozus is tanking up as well. Just everyone on Vivo Keith is in harmony with each other. Look, Odozus goes in, uses his stone plate while 3 enemies are around him, and maximizes the shield. Very, very well played. Because if you use a stone plate when there's 3 or more enemies very, very close to you, the shield is much bigger than if you just use it randomly with like 1 or 2 enemies around you. So just Otis is perfectly going in, using that stone plate enchant and maximizing his tankiness right there. Yeah, there it is. Divine Thunder for Yone, by the way. I hadn't noticed it, but like he's just gonna destroy Team SoloMid with it. And now he's finally going for crit, right? Like even though Yone and Yasuo both get double crit, sometimes it's actually better to not go crit. You know, crit is really good against squishies, but obviously if you're up against tanks who are building a load of armor, you don't really want to be going for crit regardless. You want to be going for the Divine Thunderers, the Blade of the Rune Kings, those types of items. And the next dragon is spawning, by the way. And Team SoloMid is not going to give this one away, right? They're gonna all in this dragon. They're gonna absolutely all in this dragon. And there's another pause, so let's just skip forward real quick. Alright, back to the game. The game was getting so intense, so like I scrolled through it super fast. So let's take a look at what happens right here. This is the third dragon, and if Vivo Keith takes this, they pretty much win the game. However, if TSM just kills all of them, they could finish the game, and TSM does go in, but a beautiful stone plate from Odysseus, but it's not enough. Where does the dragon go? Who gets it? No, that's the third dragon going to Vivo Keith, and TSM is not winning the team fight either. How do you get out of this? How do you win this game? TSM is desperately trying to run away right here, but now they're dealing with Vivo Keith, who has 3 dragons. And this is horrible for TSM. It was looking decently for them. They were holding on to this game, but now they're gonna start struggling. Because when you're up against 3 dragons, you know, the Ocean Dragon constantly healing up Vivo Keith, the Infernal Dragon giving a 12% damage buff, and then the Mountain Dragon, which is immensely buffing the armor and the magic resist of Vivo Keith. It's just gonna be super difficult for Team SoloMid to win this game right now. I don't see a way of them winning this game unless they somehow, some way get a really nice catch on Vivo Keith. Like a full-on team fight, they're gonna struggle really hard against this composition of Vivo Keith. And it's a shame, honestly, because Thetis on the Shyvana has 14,500 gold. 4 items finished. She's incredibly powerful. But then again, the 3 dragons deny that. And as we look into the replay right here, let's take a look at what went wrong. Because Vivo Keith was just rushing down this dragon. The problem with Olaf is he's just gonna use his ultimate. You cannot stop him from taking the dragon. Like, look, he used his ultimate and he secures it very nicely. And then he used his third ability as well on everyone and dealt that true damage and just destroyed the composition of Team SoloMid. That true damage from Olaf's third ability right there, he was able to hit everyone, and that was really it. Like, Team SoloMid really tried to just get close and make sure they get the dragon, but they forgot that Olaf can just ult, and it really doesn't matter what you do, Olaf is gonna go right through it. So now all Vivo Keith has to do, no split pushing, no crazy stuff like that, stick together and force a Baron fight. So I'm expecting Vivo Keith to just stick together, force the Baron fight, even if in a disadvantageous position, because they do have the way more powerful composition right now. And you can see Team SoloMid obviously wants the opposite, right? They're sending Jax to the bot lane, and he's probably gonna split push, and they're gonna try to split up Vivo Keith, because if they split up Vivo Keith, they have a bigger chance of winning a team fight. Like a full-on 5 versus 5, they're just not gonna win. It really doesn't matter what happens. Oh, it's a misclick from Leosin. He misclicked his ultimate. That sucks. That's not good. You can see Vivo Keith is desperately trying to teamfight right here because they want to fight before it's too late. Because now it is a little bit too late. Someone has to go back and stop Mike from taking an inhibitor turret. But it's okay. Like, this is okay for Vivo Keith. They're fine with it. And Team SoloMid is gonna go back as well. And they're gonna try to split push some other way now. They're gonna try to waste some time on some other way. Because, like, as I said, 5 versus 5 is just not gonna work for Team SoloMid. They're gonna have to find some other way to waste time, some other way to split push, because the Elder Dragon is spawning now as well. So perhaps they could split push in the top lane, and that's exactly what's happening, as you can see. Mike is split pushing. So my question to you guys, why is Mike split pushing? This is the test your knowledge. Why is Sony not split pushing? Because Sony is stronger, right? Why is it Mike on the Jax, who is 0-3, split pushing instead of anyone else of the team of Team SoloMid? Test your knowledge. Put it in the comments. I'm gonna let you guys know in like a few seconds. Pause the video. So what is the answer? The answer is because Mike is the weakest of Team SoloMid. And while he's the weakest, he's also still a strong split pusher. As you can see, Jax is a strong individual champion. So he's split pushing. No one can 1v1 Jax. Meanwhile, they're trying a 4 versus 3 at the Elder Dragon. I mean, take a look at this. Like, if Sony would have split pushed, they're still gonna lose the 4 versus 4 because Mike doesn't provide any value in a team fight. Sony, on the other hand, on the Camille, provides immense value during those team fights. He can dive the backline, right? He does the true damage. As I said, like, Jax is good at 1v1s, even though he's 0-on-3. Like, look at this. He's not gonna lose the 1v1 against Odysseus, even though he's 0-3. So that's why they're putting him on split pushing duty, even though Sony is actually stronger than him. Because it's better for their team fighting, and it's better for the split pushing. It's just a win-win for Team SoloMid all over the place. What I would love Team SoloMid to do is try to trade the Elder for the Baron, because the Baron buff is also very, very strong, but it's just like Keith is not allowing them to do anything. And now this is not a good spot, because Vivo Keith is rushing down this Elder. Oh, there is the teleport, however. It's gonna be a 5 versus 5. This is not what Team SoloMid wants, but this is what they have to do. And Sony is ulting the Galio, but that's not the one that you want to go on. Tethys is struggling in the backline. Carlo kills him off, actually, with that Yone. And what are you gonna do now? It's a 4 versus 5. And there it is. Like, Vivo Keith is just running down Team SoloMid. It was a nice attempt. It was a really, really nice attempt. Like, this was truly high elo gameplay that we saw, because both teams had amazing macro gameplay. Vivo Keith stayed calm and collective, while Team SoloMid were making the best moves to still try and win the game, which was split pushing, right, and trying to force down the Elder. Vivo Keith did not allow anything. It was like a watertight gameplay from Vivo Keith. Their macro gameplay was watertight. Like, they didn't make mistakes. They just did it didn't feel like they made mistakes. This is what it felt like watching the Chinese teams play during the Wild Rift Icons. Like, I'm seeing it all over again happen here with Vivo Keith. This is truly what it felt like. Just an absolute dominant macro performance, and Vivo Keith takes the game. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and yeah, I'll see you all in the next Wild Rift video. Bye bye.